The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I'm your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, by all means, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and you are following me on all of my social media profiles. Are all listed down below. That way, if there's a band, a song, a video, something you want me to check out, you can hit me up with a DM, no spamming, or leave it in the comments down below. Now, if you are going to leave it in the comments below, I highly recommend you join the I Concur Army, because only you can concur with a suggestion. All you have to do is give it a cursory read through the comment section. If you see your suggestion has already been made, just do me a favor. Like that suggestion and below reply with I concur, C-O-N-C-U-R. That will help my old burnout resin-coated DJ brain put everything into a nice little organized list, and I can get it into my handy-dandy notebook. And thank you to everybody for participating in the I Concur game. I find it hilarious. It is so funny to see it pop up on other reactors channels, on my social media during the live chat every Saturday, 2 p.m. The Wild Side Live. So I appreciate everybody playing the I Concur game. And on a serious note, it does humble me. There is humility in this little thanks that I do, because it does tell me that you're not only paying attention, but you respect me enough and what I'm doing here, which is different. It is different than reactor channels. I put reaction on the thumbnail, but there's a little more to it than a reaction, as you'll see if you're new to the channel. So I thank you to everybody. It shows me that you respect what I do, you listen, and I think you guys are having as much fun doing it as I am watching it. So you guys are awesome. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it greatly. Before we get into today's video, I do want to say thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200 Music to See, and Gothic Jewelry. They are those that make the Wild Side possible, and without them, I'd be asking you for money. And I'd rather just play tunes and talk about it, to be fair. And that's what we do every Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Time. I will be broadcasting live for 2 hours from East Nashville, and my subscribers have an opportunity to sit down and just ask me anything. We have had conversations from radio, how does radio work, to the music industry, to some of my concert stories and some of my stories of the biz, if you will. To me, asking you guys questions about your first concert and your favorite album cover. And we got into a real long conversation about that last week, about album covers and how you discover bands because of an interesting album cover and how that doesn't really play anymore. But anyway, every Saturday, 2 p.m., right here on the channel, The Wild Side Live goes live to you, my subscribers. But you have to be a subscriber. Today's suggestion is coming from social media. A few days ago, I posted, and again, if you follow me on social media, I'm not the politics, get it started kind of guy. I'm not that guy. I'm more of a post a funny picture, a song you have forgotten, something like that. That's more what my social media footprint is going to be. But if you follow me, you're going to see some good tunes and some funny pictures. So there you go. And it was one of these posts where I play a simulator game, Kill Time, keep me out of the bars and away from loose women. And in the game, it has a hairband radio station. And a lot of times they'll fire these memories in my head, and I'll go a little deeper into the artist and be like, oh yeah, what about this one? Well, that's where today comes from. While playing the game, I heard a Twisted Sister song, and then I started to get into my Twisted Sister collection, and I was like, oh, I forgot about that. Oh, Stay Hungry's awesome. Oh, Can't Kill Rock and Roll. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll. Oh, these are all just such great records. And I was just having a conversation with a friend at work about these certain bands that we forget from back in the day that had an absolutely dominating run. And from like 82 to 85, Twisted Sister had a massive run. That's why they were dragged in front of Congress or the PMRC to explain heavy metal. So I posted a song on my page from Twisted Sister. It's one of the most beautiful songs, I think, that came out of that era. And and I'll explain when I'm done with this. So today's video is coming from another artist I'd reacted to, Tommy Johansson. He is in Majestica and Sabaton. Sabaton and Epica were recently through Nashville, and I've done reactions to Sabaton songs. I've done Christmas Truce, The Unkillable Soldier, and the Screaming Eagles. And I plan to do more. So again, if you have suggestions, put them down there below. So I've done reactions to Majestica, so I was familiar with Tommy. And of course, everybody, you guys are so awesome filling me in on all the information that I don't know about these artists. So thank you. So give me all the information down below. I really appreciate that. So he does a lot of covers. He does these covers on his channel. And some of them, I'm going to be honest with you, I can't do a reaction to, or I won't, because they hit me personally, and I don't really want to put that out there. It's again, if you have these conversations with me in the live stream, I go into far greater detail about why I don't do certain songs and react or analyze certain songs. So, but again, live stream Saturday, 2 p.m. Central Time. And you can ask me all the questions you want. So, the song I posted up on my page was The Price by Twisted Sister. And of course, one of my great followers was like, bro, you need to check out Tommy Johansson's cover of The Price. Now, again, The Price for me is a song that is important in the timeline of the fear of metal. It really is. And it brought with it a color spectrum that I don't think anybody was expecting from Twisted Sister. I'll get into that. So today we're going to check out Tommy Johansson's cover of The Price. Here we go. And if I'm not mistaken, this video was made on the road from various venues and cities while on his American and Canada tour. If I'm wrong, please correct me down below. So anyway, here we go.
How long I wanted
That's okay. I'm going to need a second here, man. I'm going to need a second here because there's a lot to it. In 350, he does a lot. And if I'm, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but he's doing at least the guitar part on this, correct? So that's his guitar tone in this song. Now, let's go back to when I stated earlier that this is one of the more beautiful songs of a time period where this genre of music, at least in this country, was still seen as very less than. People would use any excuse to disparage heavy metal. They would call them satanic and, whatever. It was bad. But the one thing that really stood out for me anyway, coming through that period, growing up in that period, was how easily people dismissed the vocals of metal singers. And they really would do that often. They're not singing, they're screaming, blah, blah, blah. But yet when you go through that time period, you get some of the best and some of the thickest and richest and most Memorex sitting in the chair getting blown back vocals. And this song is one of them. It's a beautiful song. Lyrically, it's a beautifully written song. It's a well-composed pop rock song. Remember, I've spoken in the past about simplicity and formulaic, and how sometimes people take these words as pejoratives. But when you've been in the industry as long as I have, and you've been watching how things work, you understand that there is a difference between some mainstreams and some others. There are some simple that are great. There are some simple that are simple, right? This is a simple pop rock song, yet within the original contains this beautiful color pattern because Dee Snider harmonizes with his band. The guitars are harmonizing with Dee's vocals. And the solos from the original are very clean and very thick and very rich with texture of that springtime freshness that goes into those earth tones that I talk about. When I talk about earth tones, sometimes you get a wintry color spectrum when you're hearing those earth tones come through. And then other times you're hearing the earth tones are more rebirth. They're more springtime. And Dee Snider's original, again, was one of those songs where if anyone disparaged metal, you go, click, there you go. Really? I don't hear anybody else doing that. Those are great vocals in a great song. So when I got to this, I knew Tommy is a great vocalist, and I know he's a great guitar player. But those ingredients don't always come through, if you will. Now, the logic in me tells me that if this wasn't awesome, it wouldn't have been released, but I still wanted to hear it and see it for myself. Kudos to Tommy Johansson, because this guy, I call him a kid. I don't want to call him a kid, even though he is younger than me. This young man was able to capture the beauty in the color spectrum in the vocals from the original. The word I wrote down was faithful. This is a faithful cover. He's not out there doing runs, and he's not out there, setting himself on fire to claim ownership of this song. I've said this before about another band and doing a cover song of a band. There are times when covers are more of an homage. They're more of a tribute, less than, hey, here's my take on it. And what his take on this song is, and I wrote it down, is power with freshness. So there's faithfulness to the canon, if you will. But what Tommy brings to it is this really super clean freshness to those harmonies that create those sky and leaf and cloud pattern colors in my head. The lighter colors of the color spectrum are coming through his vocals and how he is able to, and again, I know English is not his first language, and Dee Snider is from New York. So when Dee Snider is singing, he is singing as a New Yorker. Yes, it's a New Yorker that's singing, but he's still a New Yorker. So Tommy's ability to capture the thickness and richness of Dee Snider's vocals through this entire song, and they're such beautiful vocals too. And Tommy does such a great job of going right to that line, doesn't he? He goes right to that line of, I could easily take this in a much bigger direction. But what he does is he contains that power. And what that does, it almost creates a less is more effect on the song. So instead of it being, crazy and out of hand, he stays in the lane, but what he brings to it is a power that pushes the walls of that lane out. So he's there, and he is without a doubt a perfect homage to Twisted Sister. But it's Tommy doing it. I think if Dee Snider heard this song, he would be very, very, very. I think I don't know, man. If someone did that with my piece of music, I would be in tears. Now that is a beautiful song, and Tommy does such a beautiful job on the vocals and the solo. The solo from the original always struck me as a weep. Right? The song itself has always struck me as an exacerbation of emotion. And Tommy does a great job of capturing that mood within the song. So when he comes in with that solo, his vocals are doing one thing, and that guitar brings up and matches it, and it continues the mood from instrument to vocal. And it's just very well done. So that was a very good homage to Twisted Sister. Yeah, it's a cover song. You can put cover up there, but that's really an homage. Tommy does such a great job on all of his songs that I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't think he was really going to capture the textures of the original, and he did. He matched them. And matter of fact, like I said, I'm not comparing and saying one is better than the other. Instead, what I'll say is, again, he brought a freshness to what was already an iconic song. The word we would use would be anthemic. I know that, I Want to Rock and We're Not Going to Take It. Those are anthemic to Twisted Sister. But I'm going to be honest with you. You Can't Stop Rock and Roll, Knife in the Back, that album, the Price, that was really, they had released an EP before. I think it was an EP. And then they released Can't Stop Rock and Roll or Can't Kill Rock and Roll, the 84 album. And that had the title cut with Knife in the Back and The Price. And it was Twisted Sister's I Need a Gig album. So there was more emotion involved in the songs on that record. There's a different texture and tone to the songs on that record. And a lot of times when you go to a band and you say, I'm going to cover this song, and it's a song from their I Need a Gig album, it's almost impossible to capture that song because of what was going on within the band in the studio at that time. The hunger, the passion, the drive, the desire, the time constraint. It all creates a different chemical reaction, and that comes through in the recording. So it's very difficult to capture that. And Tommy Johansson, I think, captured it better than I've ever heard anyone do it before. So well done, Tommy. Thank you very much for the suggestion. Again, if you have a suggestion, you got to follow me on all of my social media platforms, or you can be subscribed to the channel right here. And I believe all of my social media is linked on my bio. If not, it's in every one of the videos. So go ahead and check it out, man. Again, this is a little bit different than your normal reaction channel. I'm trying to give something a little bit different. So thank you very much for your patience. Thank you very much for taking time out of your day to watch the video. Thank you to Aspen Dental, Connect 200 Music 2C, and Gothic Jewelry. They are the reason I'm not asking you for money. So thank you. And again, make sure you're followed. Make sure you're subscribed. Every Saturday, 2 p.m. right here, we've got a good little 2-hour stream where me and my subscribers just sit back, chill, and chat. We don't talk politics. We don't talk religion. We just talk about music. We talk about pop culture. We share information with each other, and we have a good time. And I think that's kind of what life is all about. So again, thank you very much for taking time out of your day to watch my video. Thank you very much for playing the I Concur game and showing me that respect. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.